So, und unser nächstes Team. Team Nest, eine Zusammensetzung aus Natur, Umwelt, Security und Technik. Viel Spaß euch!
Good morning, everyone present here. Today we are going to pitch our idea on transforming data centers from within, harnessing the unseen power which is going wasted, and we'll power the future with it. Yeah, so let's meet the team first. Myself, Sharita, and we have SN and Rahul Organti. So first we'll discuss about the problem that we generally face. Let's take a computer, and it has emissions of heat and noise. So in this case, let's say we are stacking computers one by one and keep them in a building. It's basically data centers. So we can imagine the amount of heat that it's going to produce. It's very large, and generally it will be going out in the air, which means it's unwasted energy. So our idea is waste energy, wasted heat, and wasted opportunity. So we are going to take this opportunity and use it for good cause. So statistically speaking, data centers waste over 60% of their electricity as heat. And then they speed up to 40% more energy just to get rid of it. So we see the cycle here. One side, they are trying to generate the energy by spending some amount of energy. And on the second way, they are trying to get rid of the heat by using the energy. And here we see the clear vision. That is clean power, smart cooling, shared energy. So we use a system where we'll capture the heat and reuse it. And we want to use the digital tools like AI so that we can smartly optimize it and increase the efficiency of our system. So we present you HeatSink, which is going to give us solutions on how we can reuse this heat. So the first solution here we are coming forward is absorption chillers. We see in ACs, traditional ACs, they take the electricity in and they give the cool air out. But in here, absorption chillers, it takes the heat in and gives the cool air out. So it's a very cool thing because we are doing cooling with the help of heat, which means thermal energy. And why we think it's smart is because of we are recycling our own heat to cool up the servers, which means we are closing the loop. And it also reduces the electricity consumption because there is no compressor that traditional ACs have. And it's silent and few moving parts. We know that data centers are generally very noisy. We don't want another solution which includes noise. So in this way, we don't have noise at all from this solution. And it works especially well in hot climates and large facilities. Next, we have atmospheric water generator. Since we know that data centers have this heat thing, there's going to be water vapor, and this is getting wasted. So what we can do is capture the moisture from the air and then condense it into water. And this can be used in the same industrial system, which closes the loop between heat, air, and water. And this can also boost resilience in climate-affected regions where the water is scarce. So we can just capture the water vapor and then turn it into water. And the next one here we are thinking is ORC turbines, which means organic Rankine cycles. So here we are generating electricity with the help of heat, which means we are converting thermal energy to electrical energy. For us to do this, the heat getting out of the system, we have to pass to the turbine, which makes the turbine swirl, and we have the mechanical energy there. Then it's easy to convert into electrical energy. So the turned waste heat into usable energy, and then can power the lights and IoT sensors into the grid. So in this way, we can have the electricity which we can feed to the system. And the operating costs over time will be decreased. AI control hub. So how we can integrate AI in this system? Because it increases efficiency, we know it. So we can do that with the real-time efficiency management. So until now, we have discussed about 3 things: absorption chiller, AWG unit, and ORC turbine. So in this way, we can make them efficient by connecting them and predictive control forecast. We can forecast the server load and the heat output so that the things can be planned ahead, which increases the efficiency. And continuous tuning adjustments of the pumps, walls, sensors, so that they can work really efficiently from preventing waste and preventing the overcooling. And there's also dynamic scheduling, which chooses the best time to do the task for maximum efficiency. So here, we are not only going for the solutions, but we are also integrating AI for better optimization and better efficiency. Why it matters? Why the data centers that we have are not enough? So here we are presenting our impact. Less heat, more impact. Here we are changing the heat into different ways. First, we are creating power, and then we are doing the cooling, and then we are producing the water, which means it is going to cut the energy losses and avoid overcooling, which we don't want it, because it's just energy waste. And it also shrinks the data center's carbon plus water footprint, because if this waste energy, which is heat, is generally getting out in the atmosphere, it can be the reason for greenhouse gas emissions. And we don't want that. We want to offset the carbon footprints that we have, because EU is aiming to become climate neutral by 2050. So if we want to go that way, then we have to offset the footprints that we are producing. And reduces the reliance on the grid. So in this case, if we are producing electricity from the wasted energy, then we wouldn't need much electricity that we generally need. So in this way, we are decreasing the resilience. The clock is ticking. We don't need to build new data centers that are inefficient. And we know that AI is going to boom, and data centers are going to boom. So we need more data centers. And we don't want something that's inefficient. We want something efficient, which makes smarter work so that we can input it. Because if we don't act now, data centers could emit more than entire aviation sector, silently overheating our planet bite by bite. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I think this is a nice niche sector for new startups to exist in, right? Data centers exist everywhere. They have some solutions sometimes to address the problem of heat being emitted and not being repurposed for some other thing. You named absorption chillers, atmospheric water generations, ORC turbines, whatever. So what would be your next step? Would you contact some data center owners to create a pilot project? How would you do it?
So first, we can pitch to the data centers available nearby so that we could ask them how they can integrate this. First, we want to tell them the solution and how we can integrate it. So based on their response, we'll work more on it.
Okay, I think it is a very interesting idea. Did you analyze any data center? Have you any case study? Any data center which you have make a balance of energy, how many energy this data center generate and how many energy you can reduce using your concept?
Yeah. So there is this real situation in Stockholm where they are using the waste heat and then producing it in the appliances, household appliances. So it's a real case because in Stockholm, they have wind power and solar power, so they are taking the renewable energy and then using the waste heat from the data center system and then integrate into the household appliances. So it decreases the electricity need in general.
Thank you very much for your very nice presentation. I have a question. What kind of, let's say, efficiency you expect? So when you say that you want to reuse the waste energy, so means thermal energy mostly, what kind of effect do you expect? So how much % of this energy which is wasted can you feed in back into the system? So is it 50%, 60, 80? What do you expect?
We are expecting around 70%, but it depends on how we are feeding it into the system. And we produced here 3 solutions, which means that the efficiency is going to be different for each of them. But these situations are kind of used in different industrial applications, but not with the same parameters. So this can be possible, this can be realistic, and efficiency-wise, we have to work more on it to exactly give you a number, because this is still newly challenging thing in data centers and can change the industry.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I have the last question. Did you think about like how much will it cost and if it's really worth the investment for the data centers? Because I can imagine like all the things, they're costing money. So the question is it really a good idea to do it for a company?
Yeah, because the impact score here is high. We don't need to integrate all the 3 solutions that we have provided here. We can use one of them or 2 of them depending on the company's feasibility and their economic infrastructure. So it is possible to do it, and it reduces the heat and generates the electricity. So on the long run, it cuts the cost more than it's increases it. So it's the uptime will be
Thank you.
upfront.
Okay, thank you for the Q&A session. We're over with that, and we will move forward with the next team. Thank you again for the presentation.
Thank you so much.